So I find it super interesting how God has conversations with different people in the Bible and how it must have been in that very moment. Can you imagine God having a conversation with Moses, God having a conversation with Abraham, God having a conversation with Noah? Where were they in that very moment? Were they seated down? Were they walking? Were they having a quiet moment? What was the moment like? And such a scenario is in Genesis 17, where God appears to Abraham and says, "I'm the God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and blameless. Then I will make my covenant between me and you and will greatly increase your number." So God here is having a conversation with Abraham and he's saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I want you to do. And as a result, we're going to establish this covenant together. And I will make you great. I'll make you a great nation. And I will increase your numbers greatly. So what is God going to do? He begins by saying, you will be the father of many nations. No longer will your name be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham. For I have made you a father of many nations. And God continues to say, I will make you very faithful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. If I was to write notes down here, it's like I would write God to Abraham. And it's almost every sentence begins by, I will do this to you. I will give you this. I will make you. I will. It's just God telling Abraham of all these things that he's going to do to him. And I think it's such a profound thing when he says, I will make nations of you and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants and the generations that will come after you. And then it ends in this section by saying, you see where you're living right now, which is Canaan? You are a foreigner, but I will make you possess that land and I will give it to you and the generations after you. And then he says, not only am I your God, Abraham, but I will be the God of your descendants and your generations. Okay, so Abraham, here is your part. As for you, this is what I want you to do. And I'm imagining Abraham there and he's like, okay. And the context here says, well, Abraham just falls face down. He's hearing of all these promises. And maybe now at this moment, Abraham is sitting and he's like, okay, God, what would you want me to do? And God says, well, as for you to keep my covenant, you and your descendants and your generations to come, every male shall be circumcised. Okay, God. And then God also says to Abraham, as for Sarah, your wife, who at that point was called Sarai, his name will also change. So God has changed Abraham's name from Abram to Abraham. And now he's changing Sarah's name, his wife, from Sarai to Sarah. And then he continues to say, I will bless her and will surely give a son to her. I will bless her so that she will be mother of nations, and kings of people will come from her. It's incredible because this is the second time or the third time that God keeps saying, nations will come from you. Nations will come from you. Abraham, you'll become the father of nations. Sarah, you'll become the mother of nations. Nations will come from you. What's interesting, which comes after this, is because at this point, Abraham laughs. It's the only time I kind of get a glimpse of what that moment must have been like. He laughs out loud. Remember, Abraham is 99 years old and Sarah at this point is 90 years old. So Abraham is like, Will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Come on, God. Will Sarah bear a child at age of 90? And God tells him, yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. Such an incredible conversation. Okay, God, I hear you. So it says Abraham just has this, he falls face down and just thanks God. And of course, afterwards, God talks about how much he's going to bless Ishmael. And Abraham finishes this conversation. And every male in Abraham's household and the ones that spawn after that is circumcised. And Abraham keeps this covenant with God. Anyway, this whole conversation, I find it very fascinating. Actually, when you read the scriptures out loud and try to have these characters having these incredible conversations with one another, it's just mind-blowing.